focused on you.
Thanks so much for being here at noon. I'm Kay Quinn. We begin with breaking news. A Northwoods police officer is behind bars, accused of brutally beating a man on July 4th. Samuel Davis is charged with assault, armed criminal action, and kidnapping. Court documents say Officer Davis arrested a man at a Walgreens in Northwoods. He then turned off his body camera and took the man to a remote area in Kinloch. Investigators say that's where Officer Davis pepper sprayed and repeatedly hit the man with a baton. The man was later found after someone called 911. He went to the hospital with a bloodied face and broken jaw. St. Louis County prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell released a heated statement reading in part, "What is alleged in this incident will not be tolerated under my watch. These actions put a black eye on all law enforcement officers who are doing their jobs the right way. We intend to hold anyone who engages in such terrible and reckless behavior accountable for their actions, regardless of their position or title." 5 on Your Side's Christine Byers is working to get more information and reaction to this breaking story. We'll have updates on the 5 on Your Side app and on air this evening. Another round of storms in the bi-state have recovery crews working overtime. Right now, more than 2,000 Ameren customers are without power in our area, including a pocket in Brentwood. We got a break from the rain this morning, but more is on the way. Meteorologist Jim Castillo here now to time out the next line of storms. Jim?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, these nocturnal storms last night lasted for hours, and then they just left Iron and Reynolds County in our southern portions of the viewing area. And then more storms are developing north and west of us. And just now, a couple showers pushing into Pike County. So let's zoom in there. Nothing severe yet, just some scattered showers, a little bit more numerous now around Bethel. And then back to the north and west of there, a couple of those cells are severe in southern portions of Iowa. So we'll watch this. That rain-cooled air plus a cool front coming in here is going to set the stage for more scattered showers and storms this afternoon into the early evening. The overnight, we're not expecting nocturnal activity, but that may change as we get into Tuesday night and early Wednesday. So severe weather potential today. Now we are in green. Might have to have a weather alert day. We'll watch this afternoon. And then as we get into current conditions, it's 84. But with the clouds coming in, probably staying in the 80s, Kay, and a little bit more timing out those storms for Tuesday coming up.
See you in a few minutes. Thank you, Jim. It seems like those damaging storms just won't let up. Just over the weekend, the bi-state saw its third damaging weather event this summer. 5 on Your Side's Alex Fees reports from Melville in South St. Louis County.
We are coming to you from Lone Elm Street here in South St. Louis County and Melville. We'll show you some of the damage in Peggy Adams Weber's backyard. This happened Sunday during that severe weather that moved through. Now today, thousands of people are without power as a result of that latest round of severe weather that moved through over the weekend and overnight. One of the hardest hit areas is South St. Louis County. On their Facebook page, Ameren officials say they have more than 950 crew members area-wide working to restore power. Some of those are contractors from out of state. While many people are still without power, crews have restored electricity for tens of thousands of people over the past couple weeks. In South St. Louis County yesterday afternoon, we saw several tree branches and power lines down here in the Bellwood Park subdivision in Melville. One large tree fell onto a resident's shed, crushing the shed. Homeowner Peggy Adams Weber says a large branch fell from the same tree during Wednesday's storms, first damaging her neighbor's truck. When we talked to her Sunday, she was without power and worried about a watch she wears, which notifies loved ones if she falls.
Still got some time on it before the battery runs out of that. So I'm kind of a little scared at this point.
If a tree falls on your home, AAA officials say first evacuate and then call 911. The top priority is getting to safety. Once the storm passes, it's time to assess the damage. Look for any downed utility wires and power lines. If you see any, leave them alone. Instead, contact a utility provider to have them safely removed. I'm afraid no relief is in sight. More thunderstorms are expected around the area later this week. Reporting in South St. Louis County, Alex Fees, 5 on Your Side.
And don't forget, you can stay up to date on the Weather First forecast by texting weather to 314-425-5355. This afternoon, family and friends will honor a young life lost during a storm on July 1st. Today would have been R.J. Lawrence's 6th birthday. He died inside his Jennings home when a tree crashed into his bedroom while he was asleep. Relatives will release balloons outside his home at 2 this afternoon. Lawrence had just graduated from kindergarten at Fairview Elementary in the Jennings School District. Another dedication in North St. Louis County begins at 6 p.m. Lavina Johnson's friends and family will honor her memory by dedicating a sign at Shackelford and Meadow Trails in Florissant. The Army determined that Private First Class Johnson died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in 2005. Her family disagrees, saying she was raped and murdered. There's a change.org petition calling for investigators to reopen her case. Right now it has more than 336,000 signatures. We're following breaking news right now in St. Charles. There's a large fire at a home in the 500 block of Transit Street. There are reports of several people injured and multiple fire crews are there right now. We have a crew on the way. We'll bring you an update as soon as we learn more. Developing right now, a 17-year-old boy is accused of shooting and killing another teen in North St. Louis County. The victim was also 17. Police haven't released a motive yet. We know the shooting happened inside a home on Ocean View Court Saturday afternoon. That's off Newhall's Ferry, just north of Lindbergh. The young suspect is now in custody. Tomorrow marks 1 month since a deadly mass shooting in downtown St. Louis that left one young person dead and almost a dozen others injured. Now, the Violence Prevention Commission is offering grants to fund programs to create long-term solutions to the city's teen crime problem.
I would say almost daily we get phone calls or emails from folks who are trying to figure out how they can be supportive. We're looking for places in the community that can host events on a regular basis during hours that are accessible to teens and younger adults.
Since the mass shooting, the city expanded the hours of 2 rec centers, but organizers say only one of them has had strong turnout. If you'd like to send ideas or apply for the grants, visit this story in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Today, 2 survivors of that Greyhound bus crash are suing the company. They've both retained local attorneys. 3 men died, at least 14 others were hurt when a bus hit 3 semis parked on an exit ramp near Highland, Illinois last Wednesday. It all happened in the early morning hours on the westbound I-70 exit ramp to the Silver Lake rest stop. 5 on Your Side spoke exclusively with one of the attorneys. He says a lot more needs to happen before anyone can be held accountable.
The second that an accident occurs or a collision occurs or something happens, they are working immediately to minimize the value of these cases, and that includes trying to settle them for pennies on the dollar of what they're worth. Can you imagine being involved in something that traumatic and being given a couple grand to say, hey, shut up, or hey, don't go get treatment? That's what they want. They want to prevent that sort of thing from happening. So it will be a long road, but I assure you we will hold them accountable.
The attorney says one of his new clients is from Tennessee, the other is from Texas. One victim told us they were offered $2,500 just hours after the crash by someone from Greyhound. Yesterday, our team emailed Greyhound asking for comment, but we haven't gotten a response. Tomorrow, Just Moms STL will host a community meeting on the nuclear waste contamination in North St. Louis County. They'll discuss the EPA's recent report and plans to clean up contamination at the Westlake landfill. That meeting is set for tomorrow night, 6 to 8 p.m. It's at the Bridgeton Rec Center on Fifi Road.